Good evening, welcome to UKO Boxing TV. Joining me this evening we have Paul Mann, local trainer, Anthony Upton, super lightweight prospect, Conor Benn, YouTube sensation, and hopefully soon to be pro boxer. Anthony, we'll start with you. You've got a big fight coming up on Saturday at Walsall Town Hall.
Yeah, biggest fight of my career to date, 100%. Fighting Joe Hughes, he's defending his English title, and I'm looking to rip it away from him. And I can't wait. Training's gone great, and we'll see on the night on Saturday.
How much do you know about Hughes?
Just from watching a few clips of him on YouTube, it's all you can do really, innit? But obviously I've got my game plan, he'll have his game plan, and it'll go off on Saturday night. It'll be a good fight, and the fans will be in for a good night.
I mean, you say it's a step up for you, but it could be argued it's a big step up for him as well.
Of course, like I highly rate myself, like, and obviously a lot of people do, and you'll see on Saturday night. I can't wait till I'm at now I'm fighting someone who's as good as me and there to beat me, so that's where it will show how good I am, and I can't wait. I've seen some clips of him on YouTube and seen what he's about, and taken that into my training, and that's it, can't wait.
I mean, a lot of the sort of top prospects always say, you'll see me at my best as the levels go up. Is that what you expect to happen as well?
Yeah, well, I think a lot of fighters do seem to perform well when they're under pressure, and I feel like I'm under a bit of pressure here fighting someone who is good, really good, and that's when I do perform better. I always have, and I'm nervous already, which is a good thing. I love being nervous. It makes me that more aware in the fight. Do you know what I mean? So can't wait for it.
Obviously, being an English title fight, it's also an eliminator for the British. So realistically, you know, this time next year, is that what you want around your waist, or?
Yeah, no doubt. Like that Lonsdale belt is a beaut. It's lovely, but not looking past Joe Hughes. You know what I mean? I've got to beat him first. So this time next year, I'd just love to be still undefeated and a previous English champion and move on from there.
Paul, you saw Anthony because his last fight was in Walsall as well. What do you make?
Yeah, against Liam Richards. Liam Richards he's just a good journeyman. He knows how to. So he got the rounds in. He's had the 8 rounds, which is really helpful going into such a big fight. And I think that will help him a lot, put him in good stead. Because he could have just took him out there, really. But Liam just knows how to do and how to make the rounds last. So I think it was really good for him. I think this kid, I'm just watching some of his YouTube clips and stuff like that. He's a talent. He's someone to watch out for, and I think he'll win the British, no doubt.
Thank you.
What do you think of how much you know about Hughes?
I don't know much about him. I don't know much about Hughes. I know he's a talent because he's at the position where he is at now, and I think what he said is right. He needs to up his game, because obviously that kid's coming in and he's gonna be training just as hard, if not harder than him, and he's got to think that. But I've got confidence. I really believe that this kid will go far. I think he's really good, honestly.
You said about the footage that's out there. Let's have a look at Anthony in action.
Step for that one. First step and just get a bit more in.
Anthony, you've been a pro for a couple of years now. So what was your background before that, and what made you decide to turn over quite young, really?
I started boxing when I was 5 years old, and obviously people think, well, how was you fighting when you was 5? I started in a boxing club called Hornchurch, which was well known for Nicky Cook.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And his dad trained us all as kids, and I had my first like gym bout when I was 5 years old. I fought a 6-year-old. So wow. I had 47 like no contest bouts. Had 7 amateur fights in England, and I've always wanted to box for Ireland, carry on in my granddad's footsteps. And I moved out to Ireland, and it just took off from there. I won 5 Irish titles, 5 Dublin titles, 3 Antrim titles, 5 of the county titles, And then like I've won 4 nations gold, European bronze, multi-nations gold, multi-nations bronze. So I boxed all over the world. Do you know what I mean?
So you weren't bad then?
I had a great. No, I had a good experience in the amateurs, and I could have done a lot better. So I could have done a lot more on a few things, like going down the wrong path. Just growing up as a teenager, you know what I mean? But I got my head screwed on. I had a little baby boy, and once I had him, I seemed to get my head screwed on, and I knew professional game was for me. So
you turned over, you had a few fights, and then you ended up getting trained by Ricky Hatton. How did that come about?
Because my brother Sonny was training up there with him, and Sonny asked me to come up and do a bit of training, keep him company. So I come up, and I enjoyed training with Ricky, and I just asked him would he train me, and he said it would be a privilege. So moved up from then on.
And how's that? Because we've all seen him on YouTube taking you and your brother and even Conor on the pads. He looks like he's pretty good at it.
Yeah, he is. He knows exactly what he's doing. It's great training with him. He knows the ins and outs of the boxing. He's done it himself, and I learn every day off him. Not only him, off everyone around me in the gym. You know what I mean? So it's good.
And your stable mate, or soon to be stable mate here, Conor. Before we talk to you, we've got to have a look at you in the gym. Conor, I've never known a fighter or soon-to-be fighter get the publicity that you've got just based on a few clips on the internet. Have you been surprised yourself?
No, you know, it's bound to happen. I mean, being the son of a living legend, I mean, 20 years later, he's still famous. Do you know what I mean? That's 20 years later, still massively in the public eye. So I'm not surprised. You know, it's got its benefits, and it's got its, you know, the things that are going to come with it that I don't really need, you know, such as negative comments, this, that, where really I just got to fight because I love the sport. You know, it's going to benefit me as my dad, but, you know, I just love fighting.
Was there ever any doubt that you'd end up being a fighter?
You know, I didn't really want to fight. You know, as a kid, I just played football, you know, tried to fit in with everyone else and play football. Weren't the best at it. And then, you know, I just thought, you know, I'd give boxing a try. My dad is Benn. Do you know what I mean? Then I just gave it a try, and then just really excelled. I just picked it up really quick and thought, yeah, you know what, fighting's for me. You know, I'm going to try and get a career out of it.
And that started in Australia?
That started about 2.5 years ago. I laced up my first pair of gloves, had all my fights in Australia. So, you know, now's the right time for me to come back to the UK and really let it show.
So what's going to happen then? Obviously, there's been talk about whether you're going to be an amateur and stuff, but the Olympics aren't far away. It's too late to qualify for that. So what are your plans?
You know, I'm more of a, I want to find an 8-ounce gloves with the rules where they don't give you no standing count, where you're really just pounding someone in the head. So really, that's what I want to do. I'm just waiting for my dad to really give me the thumbs up to say, you know what, son, you're ready to turn pro. He's looking at it more from a careful angle of, you know, son, you got to do it right. Whereas me, I want to look at it as, you know, being the youngest light welterweight champion of the world, which I believe I can achieve.
So you won't turn pro until you get your dad's blessing that the time is right?
He knows what's best. He knows what's best. You know, I trust him with my life. So, you know, when he says it's best, you know, I'll just leave it with him.
Did he have any reservations about you fighting?
He didn't want me fighting whatsoever. And then, well, after my first couple of fights, I mean, after my 7th fight, I'd been #1 in Australia, you know, and everyone thought I was going to lose, and I won. And I thought, you know what, see how it goes. Got a lot of confidence boost from that, you know. So I'm glad I had all my fights over there anyway. Like, having the pressure of my dad fighting amateur over here wouldn't have been any good. So it was the right move. Is
there any other chance that he would train you? Obviously, we'll come on to who is training you in a minute, but would he not do that?
Nah, not at all. I think father and son, you know, in boxing, you need to keep it separate because he doesn't know when to get left in the gym. We carry our grudges home because, you know, me and dad are close. You know, so we thought, you know what, just leave it. I'll get another world champion to train you.
I was going to say, so like Anthony, you're with Ricky. How's that going?
Unbelievable. I mean, he knows the tricks to the trade. You know, he's been there, seen it, done it, fought the best in the world. You know, so my dad couldn't think of any other better man. You know, he brings out the beast in me. You know, I wanna, you know, fill my hands, go through the back of his pads. Best trainer.
Lastly, 20 seconds before the break, you and Chris Eubank Jr. It's got to happen, and this won't be the first or the last time you're going to be asked about it. Will it happen?
Different ways.
I mean, yeah. If it does ever come to terms that, you know, the fight's there, I mean, I'd rather that over any world title fight any day. I mean,
that's the one.
I mean, you know, that's something right there.
Join us after the break when we'll be talking to Nathan Gorman and Reuben Arrowsmith. Welcome back to UKO Boxing. Joining us for part 2, light middleweight Reuben Arrowsmith, heavyweight Nathan Gorman. Chaps, thank you very much for your time. We'll start with you, Reuben. You're a little bit more experienced than Nathan, but only one fight in so far.
Yeah, only one fight. No, I've known Nathan for a long time. Last year was all on GB together, so amateur wise we've got good experience, but as professional, yeah, I got one bout ahead.
You made your debut against Kevin McCauley.
Yeah.
How was that? How was it making the transition?
Not as hard as everyone put it out to be. You mean, everyone knew my style as an amateur. I was a counter puncher, and everyone was making a big thing. But me and Ricky knew what it would take, and we've been practicing it, and I'm a quick learner. I took to it like anything. You mean, Kevin, tough for my debut, was a tough opponent, but I thought I handled him pretty easily, the way I should have really. But it was a good fight, and looking forward to my next one. Because
some boxers coming through and making the change from amateur to pro do struggle to adapt to the style, don't they?
Yeah, and I think that's just learning wise. I think some lads take longer to learn. I'm a quick learner, and Ricky's he's a great trainer. You mean, and not just that, he's a great teacher. I think best trainers out there are good teachers. It's people who talk to you and show you. You mean, that's one thing Ricky does do. He don't just tell you, he shows you as well.
How did it come about, the link up with Ricky?
Believe it or not, with this man, you mean, I text this man because this fella got on GB, and I never had my assessments, so I never got on GB. And he said to me, I asked him, I said, do you know any good pro trainers around the Midlands area? And he said, yeah. So I trained with a lad called Lyndon Newborn in Stoke-on-Trent, and went with Lyndon, and Lyndon works with my manager Michael Carney, and Michael said, I can get you up to with Ricky Hatton's gym if you want to have a training session with him, and I did. And I sparred well, and Ricky invited me up to do some more pads, and then we just took off from there.
So as you said there, you're from Market Harbour, then you moved to Stoke, then you moved to obviously training with Ricky. So what do you do? Do you spend sort of Monday to Friday up there and get back, or do you live up there permanently now?
I spend Monday to Friday, you know. I'm married, so I'm freshly married, so it was a bit awkward, but I got a great missus. You mean, she's really support me in every way. You know, I got a good family.
You talk about Ricky. We first saw a few years ago when he was looking at starting to train a couple of lads and stuff, and it's not just the fact it's Ricky Hatton; it's the fact that he's clearly a great trainer. I mean, on the pads, he's got to be one of the best in the country already. Yeah.
People think, some good boxers can't be good trainers, but that ain't the case with Ricky. You mean, he's a great trainer, and he's proven that. You know, he's got a world champion now as well with Zanet. He's first world champion, and probably first of many, I think so anyway. But Ricky, he's a great trainer, you know, and we've got a good atmosphere up there as well now. We was just on the way up here, we were saying with all the lads, we've got a good team in there now. We've got, I think, 10 boxers up there now, and it's a great atmosphere up there.
Fair play to him as well for starting off with younger guys that you can mould, rather than just coming in, because I'm Ricky Hatton, I can take someone who's already established and who's already got a name. He obviously wants to do it from grassroots level, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he wants someone to say, well, hang on, I trained him from the beginning, and he's starting to get that. You mean, Anthony's fighting for the English title, and he's got a final British Eliminator as well. So if Anthony wins this on Saturday night, which we all think he will, he's fighting Tyrone Nurse for the British title, and that's a fight Anthony can win. So it's good atmosphere up there, and Ricky's starting to get them lads. Same as Nathan, same as myself. We've got a good amateur record. You mean, good amateur pedigree. So why can't we do that as well? I think Ricky can see that. You mean?
From a trainer's perspective, what do you make of Ricky?
I think Ricky's brilliant. Like, I loved him.
I don't mean as a fighter, I mean as a trainer.
As a trainer as well, I've been up there and I've seen him train, because we took Sam Evans up there as well. And I was there while he was training. I think he's superb. He's humble as well with it. He doesn't push these, don't tell these, this is how you got to be doing. I think he's fantastic. I think he's really good. And you can only be as good as what you've got to work with as well as a trainer. And he has got some top lads in the amateurs. I mean, but Sam Evans, who he's got from here, he never had a lot of amateur fights, and he's improved him as well, because we used to train Sam here as well, and I think it's a good move. And Reuben to fight Kev McCauley in his first fight, as you know, I took Kevin in.
Yeah.
And Kevin's a hard fight for anybody experienced. So to have that as his first fight, that's put you in really good stead. You just set up now to fight someone like that, because he knows the game.
Yeah.
I mean, he had 130 odd fights, and we've done all of them because Kev fights.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
And so you're doing really well.
Same as when Ricky said, I've got Kevin McCauley. I've seen Kevin box a couple of times. I've been in professional shows, and I said to a couple of mates, I thought, I bet I get him. And most of the boxing lads was like, nah, you won't get him, not yet. Maybe when you have 10 fights or 5 fights, you won't get him. Okay. But when I got in for my debut, I knew straight away, I thought, they're testing me, and Rick said it, this is a testing fight, just see what level you're at. Yeah. If you handle him pretty easily, then we know what level you're at, and see how far you've come along. And I thought I handled him pretty good.
You've done superb to get through that in your first fight against someone who's so durable and so tough, and he does know the ring.
He does, yeah.
Anyone thinks so, he doesn't. He knows when it's a novice and how to take him and how to push him. And he really did push you in that fight, because he had a bit of time out, and he actually trained quite hard for that. So I think you've done fantastic. Yeah, really good. Yeah, I think good things looking ahead with Reuben as well.
So you're back in for your second fight, Walsall Town Hall on Saturday. Have you got an opponent in it?
I have, yeah. Don't ask me to pronounce his name because I can't. But yeah, he's a tough lad. He's boxed some decent lads so far, and none of them's has really stopped him or anything like that. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to put a big performance on. I mean, my first fight I sold a load of tickets. I got a good following, so I got a good following coming to this fight, especially a few weeks before Christmas. I didn't expect it, so I got a good following coming here, and I'm expecting to put on a good show this time.
Right, before we talk to the big man, let's have a little look at Reuben in action. Nathan, you're next.
That's right, mate.
Debut on Saturday, heavyweight.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Bit of pressure. How are the nerves? Any butterflies?
No, I ain't got no butterflies yet. Probably on the night. Probably I will get some nerves, yeah. It's my first one. I'm looking forward to it. As Reuben was saying before, I've boxed all around the world. I've been in Bulgaria. A few months back I boxed in Poland. So I've had a good amateur experience, and I'm just looking forward to my pro debut.
I guess when you're used to fighting at that level, amateur, and you don't know who you're fighting until quite late notice sometimes, and that sort of thing. It must really suit, and it must ease the nerves when you're...
It does, yeah, because you've got an opponent weeks ahead of yourself. With amateur, you find out on the day with one draw, so...
Have you got an opponent in it?
I have. I think his name's Jindridge Falecki. Have I got that right? Well done, I got that one.
Well, I knew, but I just wanted to leave you to say it, because I didn't want to try and attempt it.
That's his name.
How did you get into the boxing then? Sort of, obviously you've been in it for years, but...
Yeah, really, my cousin brought me down to... There was an old club called Crew ABC run by a former British champion, Joey Singleton. My cousin brought me down, he said, do you fancy coming down training? And I said, yeah. And it really kicked off from there. From there I went to, I moved gyms to Macclesfield Boys Boxing Club. Then 2012, I went back to Crew to a fella called Nathan Clark, who really took me to the next step, to be fair, to win ABA titles and get onto GB. And that's what happened, really. Then from there, I went to Hatton's.
Obviously, you're from a family with a rich history in bare knuckle boxing.
That's right.
Look at your face, you didn't want me to ask you.
Yeah, that's right.
Could you tell us a bit about that and how you ended up with gloves on?
Well, it's in the blood, really. Barley, well, I think everyone knows Barley in England, so I'd like to think it's in the blood. Yeah, Barley,
the legendary bare knuckle fighter.
Precisely, he is a legend, and I'd like to think it's bred in me, and I do believe it's bred in me. So it's my path, to be fair.
So what made you go down the amateur and professional route, in a ring with gloves rather than sticking with the tradition?
That's a good question, to be fair. Much easier.
Got some looks to protect.
It's much easier.
It's nice when you've got people with big gloves on, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. No, as I said before, all my family virtually are involved in boxing, and my dad didn't want me involved in that equation, bare knuckle boxing. So he said, I prefer you to do boxing then.
We talked about Gorman there.
Yeah.
And Shane Meadows made a brief documentary, obviously the legendary Midlands filmmaker.
Yeah.
I've been told that he actually wants to make a feature film based on Bartley's life. Do you think you could get involved in that?
I'd love to, yeah, but apparently Tom Hardy's meant to be playing him. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. They should bring the film out, to be fair. It'd be interesting.
I think we're all just looking forward to another heavyweight coming through, especially being trained by Ricky Hatton, having the amateur experience he's got. Hopefully he can perform like what happened on the weekend with a Tyson winning something. We can have another heavyweight sensation. Hopefully that's what we're looking forward to.
Well, I was going to ask you about that. What did you make of Fury at the weekend? Because he got criticised a little bit for the way that he won it, but at the end of the day, you've got to get the win.
I think he was superb.
I always believed he was going to win the title, and the way he boxed was spot on for me.
Yep.
He had his game plan, everything, the full team, fair play to him.
Yep.
They'd done everything right.
I mean, I was over there for it and I was amazed that he made Klitschko suddenly look every bit of his 39 years, didn't he?
Yeah, that was a 10-year regaining world champion, and he made him miss. He just perfectly boxed him.
Just have belief that he has in himself. Hopefully he'll do the same, Nathan.
Yeah.
Just have the belief.
Think he wins the rematch as well?
Yeah. Easy.
We want to see him against Anthony Joshua in the future.
That'd be a good fight. Be best of Britain, wouldn't it, I suppose?
David A's back in town.
Yeah, David A's, I'll say that. David A's back in town, so there's a good mix there.
Tell me who wins. Fury or Joshua?
Fury.
Fury. Gotta be Fury.
I'm going to back Fury because he's proven himself there, and
He's proven himself.
Just on the paper, innit?
Chaps, thanks ever so much for your time. You too. Good luck at the weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. Join us next month for UKO Boxing TV.